Hey everybody, welcome to SwJ. Today we're picking up where we left off last time, working on my blanket project. We're getting down to, I think, the last layer for width. We might have the width of our blanket. And so yeah, today we're patching in a piece. I've already done my pinning and my trimming. And we're patching in a patched piece of one of my other 20-plus-year-old pairs of jeans that I am not, that I've chosen not to continue with. So, use the old to make the new. Let's get into it. Get that first thread in, and then we can get down to the good world news. Okay, I'll start with the good world news already. Energy, power, electricity, my old favorite topic. Lithium batteries have become basically the cornerstone of the world. And we found out recently, and we discussed in an earlier episode, that they are now recyclable, which is huge. But I've always been talking about the next step in battery technology. And this might be it. Because people who study these things, they study these things, and they found that what would happen when lithium ion batteries would charge or discharge, they leave behind what they refer to as lithium islands. So you have these little pockets of lithium which no longer were part of the battery. And they studied these little lithium islands to see what was going on. And they found that under normal charge and discharge, the islands... Chilly in here this morning. Get out conkle. These islands, during charge and discharge, they would move towards the different posts, the positive and negative, the anode and cathode. And they would move one way or the other. And that's how you make power in batteries, is moving ions back and forth, or electrons back and forth. So what they found is that these little islands would turn into little worms, And these little worms would crawl back and forth towards whichever post was the active direction of current flow. So what they're developing now is a battery that has a charging cycle which includes a fast discharge portion. So you'll charge your battery, let's say, to 80%, and it'll do a rapid discharge. So it'll turn on the, all the processing and the light, and I don't know exactly how they do it, but just to give you an idea of the current draw, like you leave the light on your phone and she heats up. So they're going to do a cycle where they put a heavy load on the battery and discharge it very rapidly. So it'll cause heating, it'll cause movement of these lithium worms, and it'll allow these lithium worms to join up with the rest of the lithium battery, and you will have a larger battery time, or a larger battery life cycle. They're claiming, with the appropriate charging cycle and they're talking about mixing in different types of metals as well with the lithium to help with this process. So in the future, it'll be what they call lithium metal batteries, or I like to call them, just to cause confusion, lithium iron. Just like not 100% accurate, just like the Iron Man suit isn't really iron. It's a titanium gold alloy. They're going to do a mix of lithium and other metals in order to allow these islands to more readily reattach and extend the battery life. They're saying just with the charging, just with the different charging methods and a slight change to the battery chemistry, you can get 30% more out of your batteries, which is massive. Imagine instantly extending the range of anything that you own by 30%. That's pretty awesome. So with batteries being made to last longer, and then also being recyclable, that should ease the strain on the lithium mines. And also help your electric scooter make it all the way to work. Oh man, I rode a high quality electric bicycle a while back, and man, is that nice. Like, just, you can pedal if you want to, or you can just pull that little trigger and go. It's like, I don't know how those aren't going to be everywhere. They're going to have to be regulated. People are going to have their e-bike licenses, and they're going to have to be on the streets or something, because yeah, they're crazy. It's electric motorcycles, basically, which is awesome. Move the pin around here a little bit. Make sure we keep our line. Make sure you tighten up those blanket stitches each time. So yeah, lithium batteries lasting 30% longer. Lithium iron as the next step from lithium ion. Another neat story about how far-reaching solar energy is getting. There's a business person in the UK. Oh, actually, you know, going back to the lithium story for a second. I just have a question for you. That technology, came out of Stanford University. Okay. How would you look at information if it came out of some guy's basement compared to a corporation? Like, would you just go, oh, this guy's just a quack? Or would it be like, oh, wow, this is amazing? Just to the, I don't even know what I'm asking, just curiosity. Anyway, sorry, businessman in the UK got the prestigious opportunity of meeting Her Royal Majesty, the Queen, and in their brief meeting, she inquired as to what he did for a living, and he is a solar panel designer and installer. So as the Queen was walking away, she was like, maybe we should get some solar at Balmoral. And a few days later, the Queen's people contacted him and inquired, you know, as to his credentials and what everything, you know, if he was legit, and he was, and is. So they commissioned him to put solar panels on one of the estate houses at Balmoral Castle. So even royalty is getting into it. And pardon. Oh yeah, I have coffee already. Cheers. And apparently there have been rumblings about putting solar panels on Buckingham Palace. So yeah, castles and palaces with solar panels. It's coming. It's a change. advent of these solar shingles that we were talking about in a recent episode, if you can get that style of solar panel, and I looked, I saw a picture. It was not the shingle design, it was just panels on top of the shingles kind of thing. Not quite as aesthetically pleasing as the other installation system. So I think once he picks up the different system, that'll help quite a lot. And go a long ways to making it so that solar panels don't make Buckingham Palace look trashy. The other thing I want to do on this forum is just tips. I read an article about things to keep in your vehicle for cold weather. If you are stranded on the highway, like a recent news story, in the cold, what should you have in your vehicle in order to make it through? And this is something, well, where I am, it does get very cold, so this is stuff that you just keep in your vehicles. You just do it. And looking at the list, I am missing a couple things, so I should. Well, I do own quite a few vehicles, so it is hard to keep everything in every one. But anyways, things to keep in your vehicle in case you get stranded in the cold. Or a lot of this is just if you get stranded in general. Number one, water. A day or two without water, you can start feeling pretty sick. So you want to have water. If it is cold, it'll freeze. Warm it up as you drink it. Number two, you want to keep food. The list was 7 things, so I'll be numbering them off. Some sort of high energy food like protein bars or jerky or even just chocolate bars or stuff like that, just for straight sugar energy, because you don't want your blood sugars to drop too low. Another one, which I think you should just keep in your vehicle no matter what, is one of those power packs, those boost packs, because you can use that as a booster pack in case your battery runs low on your car. You can use it to charge the battery on your phone in case your battery's dying on your phone. There's a flashlight on there generally, so it's good for a number of things. And electricity is used for everything, so having a little box of it to bring along with you is a pretty good idea. So take your little box of electricity for a drive. Another one, also on a related note, everybody should have these in their vehicle. Jumper cables, in case your battery does die. that you can get a boost. Nothing more frustrating than being stuck somewhere with a dead battery and no jumper cables. So even if someone does pull over and say, hey man, can you boost me? And they say, sure, you got any cables? Yeah. And you can actually say yes and get out of that situation. One thing that is specific to the cold is some sort of an ice scraper and snow brush. Even if it's not snowy, just sitting in your vehicle when it is cold, you'll get frost on the inside of the vehicle, and yeah, you want to be able to scrape that off so when you do get moving, you can actually see where you're going. One good thing to bring along in case you are stuck for a few days is any sort of personal hygiene products, and you know, use your imagination for that one. You're in a car for 3 days. There's gonna be stuff happening. You're gonna need to take care of it. So personal hygiene products. And we'll just leave it at that. And the next note here can also be applied to if it's too hot outside, and just think the opposite. You want to bring along warm things, like blankets, jackets, extra clothing, candles. And if you're packing candles, don't forget matches or a lighter. I would say preferably and, just in case one source is either used up or destroyed somehow. Matches or a lighter get wet, you can have issues. So try to keep everything dry. On the other side of that, have ways that you can keep yourself cool. I don't even know, man. Little fans, spray little water bottles to spray to mist, umbrella, you know, just in case you are just in the beating sun, that you have some way of getting out of that sun. Cheers. And if you were counting, that's the seven item list, which is more than 7 items. A few things were grouped under the same heading. And on top of the list that was out there, I'd like to add a few things. Because if you actually are just stuck somewhere, it's way better to be not stuck than to be stuck. So I would suggest bringing along some sort of tire traction aid. And what you can do, as simple as bringing along a bag of cat litter in the box, or in the box, preferably in the box, but keep some cat litter in the trunk, and then if you do get stuck in snow or ice, you just throw the cat litter underneath and you have instant grip. And as I said, it is better to not be stuck than to be stuck. Further to that, what you can use is bungee cords. A lot of places, well, tire chains are expensive, or can be expensive, and a pain to put on. But if you just take some bungee cords, and you can actually put those bungee cords through your rims around the tire, not around anything solid, not around your brakes or anything, because you'll just tear the bungee cords off. But just through your rim and around the rubber, and that will give you more traction as well. It'll act like little paddles on your tires and like bump things out, and it's amazing what something like that can help you get out of. And another little thing, and these you can pick up for usually $20 for a super cheap one, and they'll do the job in an emergency. And that is one of those little portable air compressors, just in case your tire is flat. And all you need to do is pump it back up. If you're sitting in traffic and you've got a leaky tire, then you can pump it up. And if you're sitting in traffic and someone else has a leaky tire, then you can lend them your compressor and be their hero for the day. And costs you less than $20 for that peace of mind and that good feeling of being able to help somebody out. And one last little story here. I am quite the proponent of thrifting. But there's a way to thrift, and there's a way not to thrift. And I'm going to give you a good example of how not to thrift. So, family was moving, New Year's Eve, and they brought a number of pieces of furniture that they were parting ways with to a thrift store. Good thrifting, right? Yay, donating furniture that you either aren't going to bring with you or can't use anymore or whatever. Awesome, good for you, good on you. That's good thrifting. The bad part is, a few hours later, the people working at the thrift store noticed that the chair was distinctly meowing. There was one particular armchair that they had brought that had developed a bit of a mew. So the thrift people had no idea how to find them. And luckily, they contacted animal control in their area, and they were able to get the name from the chip. The address wasn't updated, but they got their name from off of the chip in the cat's ear. And a few hours later, they were able to contact them and reunite them. Their cat was apparently quite unimpressed with them when they arrived. Was not happy at all with the owners, which I get. But yeah, I thought that was a super cute story of how not to thrift. If you are going to donate your cat, they will track you down and find you. Yeah. Well, that takes us to halfway done on this new extension. Another new piece of my blanket. Let's pull some pins and see how it looks so far. Oh, actually I'm going to leave that end one in because I didn't quite go all the way to the end here, so that I can tie into the next piece. Just to keep the end from pulling apart till I can get at it and finish it. To the khaki half of the new patch. Ta-da! There it is. And yes, my blanket will already be patched. Next time I'll get around to doing the other side, the denim side. I'm gonna have to have more to talk about. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me. Really do appreciate the time we get to spend together. Spread some good news, share some good news, tell your friends the good news. That's the other thing. Don't let this stop here. Talk to your friends. Talk to your friends. Tell them what you heard. Everybody needs a pick-me-up. You know, when I started doing this series, I thought to myself, what does everyone in the world need right now? And everyone in the world right now needs some good news. So pass on that good news. Pass on the blessings that you have. Share your skills. Be a good neighbor. All these things, you'll have great rewards in life from it. It's the happiness of knowing that you're a good person, you know, and you're not just slugging along life trying to subsist and make your way, you know, off of other people. Spread the happiness, spread the good news, spread the love, spread the joy, spread the positivity. Till next time, keep chilling. Don't forget your cookie. Peace.